Before we begin, please note that this presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. The ideas and strategies discussed are not guaranteed to produce any particular result. I am not a financial advisor, and the content of this video should not be considered legal or financial advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any significant business or financial decisions. How much money did you set on fire last month? I'm serious. How many hundreds or even thousands of dollars did you pour into Zillow, into Facebook ads, into glossy postcards that went straight from the mailbox to the recycling bin? You boosted a post of your new listing, a beautiful 4-bedroom colonial with great curb appeal, and you got a handful of likes, maybe a nice house, from your aunt and crickets. The leads you did get were duds, tire kickers, people who clicked a button by accident and have no idea who you are. And meanwhile, you look around your market and you see the same thing everywhere. The same boring, just listed graphics. The same smiling headshots on a park bench. The same ads that scream, "I am a real estate agent. Please give me your business." It's a sea of beige, a monotonous drone of mediocrity, and you're drowning in it. Here's a terrifying number for you. Depending on the source, somewhere between 75 and 87% of all real estate agents in the United States fail and leave the industry within their first 5 years. 5 years. And it's not because they're bad at selling houses. It's because they're bad at getting a chance to sell houses. They don't know how to cut through the noise. They don't know how to get noticed. They follow the same tired playbook their first broker gave them in 2008, and then wonder why their phone isn't ringing. Well, that ends today. This video, this entire series is your new playbook. We are going to systematically dismantle the old, ineffective way of advertising real estate and replace it with a toolbox of creative, psychology-driven, and battle-tested ad ideas that actually work in the modern American market. I'm not talking about fluffy theories. I'm talking about concrete, actionable strategies you can implement this afternoon to generate leads that know you, like you, and trust you before they even pick up the phone. You are going to learn how to create ads that don't just get seen, they get remembered. Ads that get shared. Ads that make your ideal client stop scrolling through cat videos and say, "Whoa, I need to talk to that agent." For the last decade, I've lived in the trenches of marketing, working with everyone from Fortune 500 companies to solo entrepreneurs, and I've become obsessed with one question. Why do some messages break through while others get ignored? I've analyzed thousands of real estate ads from every corner of the country, from the hyper-competitive markets of Los Angeles and Miami, to the quiet suburbs of Ohio and the rural landscapes of Montana. And what I found is that the agents who are truly crushing it, the ones building sustainable, profitable careers, have all figured out a secret. It's a fundamental shift in thinking that changes the entire game. And the secret is this: stop selling houses. Start selling stories. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, "I want to buy 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a 2-car garage." That's not how people work. They wake up thinking, "I am so tired of my kids sharing a room and fighting all night." They think, "My commute is killing me. I'm wasting 2 hours of my life in traffic every single day." They think, "I just want a backyard big enough for my dog to run around." They are not buying a property. They are buying a solution to a problem. They are buying a better version of their own life. And your advertising, every single piece of it, needs to speak directly to that future, that solution, that story. The generic feature-based ads that 99% of agents are running are completely invisible to the modern consumer. Our brains are wired to ignore them. Charming colonial in great school district. Your brain sees that and just files it away under boring real estate ad number 742. It has zero emotional impact. It doesn't connect. But what if your ad said something different? What if it started with a story? To do this, you need to master one foundational concept before we get into any specific ad templates. If you get this one thing right, you will be ahead of almost every agent in your market. I call it the specificity spectrum. It's simple. The more specific your message is, the more universally it resonates. It sounds like a paradox, but it's the core truth of all effective communication. By trying to appeal to everyone, you end up appealing to no one. But by speaking directly to one person's specific problem, you create an emotional connection that is magnetic. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take that charming colonial in a great school district. That's the generic end of the spectrum. It's vague. It means nothing. Now let's slide down the spectrum to hyperspecificity. Imagine a Facebook ad with a picture of a chaotic, toy-strewn living room. The headline reads, "Is this your living room every night?" The ad copy continues. You love your kids, but you're tired of tripping over Legos and seeing Paw Patrol characters every time you sit down to relax. What if you had a space just for them? This home at 123 Maple Street doesn't just have a spare room. It has a 1,000 square foot finished basement that was practically designed by a kid. There's a built-in stage for their dance recitals, custom shelving for every book and board game, and it's far enough away that you can finally watch a movie in peace. Your sanity is one click away. Tour the ultimate playroom. That comes with a beautiful house attached. At the link below. Do you feel the difference? That ad isn't selling a house. It's selling peace and quiet. It's selling the end of clutter. It's selling a solution to a very specific, very frustrating daily problem for parents of young children. Any parent seeing that ad doesn't just see a house. They see a better evening. They see themselves in that story. They feel understood. And who do you think they're going to call? The agent who said charming colonial. Or the agent who understood their daily struggle with Legos and Paw Patrol. This works for every single demographic in the American market. Let's try another one. The downsizers. The empty nesters. The generic ad says, perfect for retirement. Low maintenance. Boring. Ignored. Let's get specific. An ad targeting people aged 55 to 70 in a specific zip code. The image is a man miserably pushing a lawnmower in the summer heat. The headline. How many more Saturdays are you going to lose to this thing? The copy. You've spent 30 years mowing the lawn, cleaning the gutters and shoveling the driveway. You've earned a break. This main floor condo at the Willows has a private balcony big enough for your morning coffee and your favorite armchair. But not a single blade of grass to cut. The HOA handles all of it. The snow, the landscaping, everything. It's time to trade your lawnmower for a library card and your snow shovel for a plane ticket. See how good a maintenance-free life can feel. That's not selling a condo, it's selling freedom. It's selling Saturdays. What about first-time homebuyers? They are terrified. They're scared of the process, the cost, the commitment. The generic ad. Great starter home. Low down payment. That doesn't help their fear. It's just noise. Let's get specific. Target renters aged 25 to 35. The ad headline. Your landlord is getting rich. It's your turn. The copy. Last month you wrote a check for $1,800 to your landlord. That's $1,800 you'll never see again. What if that same money could be building your own wealth instead? This 2-bedroom townhome qualifies for a first-time buyer program that requires only 3.5% down. Your estimated monthly payment, including taxes and insurance, could be less than what you're paying in rent right now. Stop buying a house for your landlord. Click here to see the numbers for yourself and find out how you can start building your own future. This ad isn't selling a townhome. It's selling financial empowerment. It's directly confronting their biggest pain point, wasted rent money, and offering a clear, tangible solution. This is the mindset shift. Before you write a single word of an ad, before you choose a single picture, you have to ask yourself, who specifically is this for? And what specific problem in their life does this property solve? Is it for the work-from-home professional who needs a real office, not a corner of the dining room? Then sell them the 5-second commute and the peace of having a door that closes. Is it for the family with a golden retriever who lives in an apartment? Then sell them the fenced-in backyard where their dog can finally run free. Every property has a story. Every property is the potential solution to someone's problem. Your job as a modern real estate marketer is not to be a tour guide who lists features. Your job is to be a storyteller who connects a specific property to a specific person's dream of a better life. Master the specificity spectrum, and you will have mastered the first and most important step to creating ads that don't just work, but dominate your market. Now that you understand this core principle, the why behind creative advertising, we're ready to get into the tactics. We're ready to build your new playbook. And we're going to start with an ad strategy that is so powerful, so effective, and so cheap to run, it feels like a cheat code for building trust and authority in your local market. It's called the Digital Mayor Strategy, and it's based on a fundamental, almost laughably simple truth that 99% of agents completely ignore. People don't hire a real estate agent. They hire a local expert they know, like, and trust. Your Zillow Premier Agent profile, your glossy flyers, your bus bench ads. They all scream, I sell houses. But they do absolutely nothing to prove you're a local expert. They do nothing to make people like you. And they certainly don't build deep, authentic trust. They just make you another face in a sea of headshots. The digital mayor strategy flips the entire script. It's about becoming the most well-known, most connected, and most trusted person in your community. And you do it by taking the spotlight off yourself and shining it on everyone else. Imagine for a second you're not a real estate agent. You're a local journalist, a documentarian for your town. Your job is to find and tell the most interesting stories in your community. That's the mindset. Here's how it works, broken down into 3 simple steps. Step 1. Identify. Your first task is to make a list of 10 to 15 small, local businesses in your farm area. But not just any businesses. We're looking for places with character, places with a story. Think about the beloved local coffee shop where the owner knows everyone's name. The new microbrewery that's getting all the buzz. The third-generation family hardware store. The quirky little bookstore on the corner. The restaurant owner who's a true local legend. These are the pillars of your community. These are the people everyone knows and loves. Make your list. Get their contact information. Step 2. Interview. This is where the magic happens. You're going to reach out to these business owners with an irresistible offer. You're going to say something like, "Hi, my name is," your name, "and I'm a huge fan of your business. I run a local social media series where I feature the best spots in our community, and I'd love to do a short video interview with you to help promote what you're doing, completely free of charge." Who says no to that? Free promotion? An opportunity to tell their story? They will be thrilled. Now, when you show up, you bring your smartphone and maybe a cheap lavalier mic you bought on Amazon for $20. This isn't a high-production Hollywood shoot. It's about authenticity. And here's the most important rule. The interview is 100% about them, not you. You might spend 2 seconds at the very beginning saying, "Hey everyone, it's your name, your local community connector, and today I am so excited to be here at the legendary business name." That's it. For the rest of the video, your camera is pointed at them. You ask simple, powerful questions that get them talking. Not how many widgets do you sell, but what inspired you to start this business? What's a memory of a customer that has stuck with you all these years? What's the one thing people don't know about this place that they absolutely should? What does this community mean to you? You let them tell their story. You capture their passion. You create a 3 to 5 minute video that is a genuine, heartfelt tribute to a local institution. At the very end, you wrap it up. Thank you so much to owner's name for sharing their story. Make sure you come down to business address and support this incredible local business. You are the host, the guide, but they are the star. Step 3. Amplify. This is the ad part of the idea. You take that finished video and you turn it into a Facebook or Instagram video ad. But your targeting and your objective are completely different from any real estate ad you've ever run. Your objective is not lead generation. It's video views or brand awareness. You're optimizing for eyeballs, not clicks. And your targeting? It's not some complicated list of people likely to move. It's a simple geographic radius. You target every single person within a 5-mile radius of that business. Or you target the entire zip code. Your budget can be ridiculously small. $5 a day, $3 a day. The goal is just to make sure that the people in your community see this amazing positive story. And what's the content of the ad? It's the video. It's pure, positive, community-focused content. The caption isn't "thinking of buying or selling. Call me." The caption is, "We are so lucky to have incredible places like business name in our town. Let's show them some love. Tag a friend you want to go here with." Now let's stop and analyze why this is pure genius. First, think about the business owner you just featured. You gave them a professionally shot, heartfelt promotional video for free, and then paid your own money to show it to thousands of people in the community. You are their hero. The next time someone in their network, a customer, a supplier, a family member mentions they're thinking about moving, who is the only real estate agent on planet Earth they are going to recommend? You. You've created a walking, talking billboard, a referral partner for life. Do this with 12 businesses in a year, and you have 12 evangelists spreading your name across town. Second, think about the community. What do people see when they scroll through their social media feeds? They see negative news, political arguments, and other real estate agents running cringeworthy ads saying, "I'm the #1 agent," or "List with me." Then, in the middle of all that noise, your ad pops up. And what is it? It's a beautiful, positive story about a local place they love. It doesn't ask for anything. It simply celebrates their town. Your face is attached to that positive feeling. You're not the annoying salesperson. You're the positive community champion. You're the digital mayor. When they see your face over and over again, associated with all the best parts of their town, who do you think they're going to call when they need real estate advice? The trust and authority are already built before they ever even think about picking up the phone. This strategy is the ultimate Trojan horse. You are building your personal brand, embedding yourself into the fabric of the community, and becoming a local celebrity, all under the guise of helping small businesses. You're getting thousands of brand impressions for pennies, but unlike a typical ad, people are happy to see it. They engage with it. They share it. They tag their friends. They are actively participating in your marketing without even realizing it. Compare this to the cost and return of a Zillow lead. You might spend hundreds, even thousands, on a lead that's being sent to 5 other agents, a lead you have to fight for, a lead from someone who sees you as a commodity. Or you can spend $5 a day to build a system that generates a steady stream of warm, inbound referrals from people who already see you as the undisputed expert of the town. It's not even a fair fight. This is how you play the long game. This is how you build a moat around your business that no competitor can cross. Because they can't outspend you, they have to outcare you. They have to out-community you. And they won't. They're too busy buying the next batch of cold leads. You run one of these digital mayor ads every single month. A new business, a new story. By the end of the year, you'll have a library of incredible content and a network of fiercely loyal advocates. You will have fundamentally changed the public perception of who you are and what you do. You're no longer just another agent. You are an essential part of the community. But being the most popular agent in town is useless if your phone never rings from an actual buyer or seller. Building all that brand equity is step 1. Step 2 is cashing it in. So, how do you build a bridge from this incredible brand awareness to actual high-quality, exclusive leads without ever sounding pushy or sleazy? That's where our next strategy comes in. We're going to install the Bat phone. A simple, almost invisible ad that runs in the background, making it incredibly easy for people who have been warmed up by your digital mayor content to raise their hand and say, "Okay, I'm ready to talk." It's the perfect 1-2 punch that turns all that goodwill into closed deals. So let's talk about the next layer. This is where we move from being a valuable resource to being an unforgettable personality. I call this strategy the unreal estate agent. Let me ask you a question. If you scroll through Instagram or Facebook right now and look at 10 different real estate agent profiles in your city, what are you going to see? I'll bet you my commission check you'll see a sea of sameness. The same professional headshot in a blue blazer. The same just listed graphic made on a free Canva template. The same smiling photo holding a set of keys with a happy client, with a caption like, "So blessed to help the Smith family find their forever home." It's a sea of beige. It's professional, it's safe, and it's utterly invisible. The single biggest mistake agents make is believing that to be trusted, they have to be a polished, perfect corporate version of themselves. They sand off all their interesting edges, hide their quirky hobbies, and present a 2-dimensional cardboard cutout to the world. And in doing so, they become completely interchangeable with every other agent in their market. The unreal estate agent strategy is the antidote to this. It's about strategically leaning into what makes you, you. It's about realizing that your humanity, your imperfections, and your unique personality are not liabilities. They are your single greatest marketing assets. So how do you do it? Starts with a mindset shift. You are not just a facilitator of transactions. You are a storyteller, a guide, and a human being who happens to sell real estate. People don't connect with logos and licenses. They connect with other people. Your goal is to stop marketing like a real estate agent and start communicating like a real person. The first step is to ditch the corporate persona. I don't mean you have to show up to a listing appointment in sweatpants. I mean you need to stop filtering your entire life through the lens of, what would a real estate agent post? Instead ask, what would a person my ideal client would love to be friends with post? Are you obsessed with your golden retriever? Great. Your dog is now your unofficial mascot. Feature him in videos. Talk about the best dog parks in the community. That's digital mayor content, by the way. Are you a craft beer nerd? Amazing. Do a weekly video series reviewing a different local brewery. Are you a history buff? Fantastic. Instead of a boring listing video, tell the fascinating story of the neighborhood the house is in. Weave in details about its history. Your passions are the hooks that make you memorable. A client might not remember the agent in the blue blazer, but they will absolutely remember the agent who knows all the best hiking trails, or the agent who's also a barbecue pitmaster. The second part of being the unreal estate agent is to tell stories, not just list features. Every other agent's ad says, stunning 4-bedroom, 3-bath home with a gourmet kitchen and spacious backyard. An unreal estate agent's ad says, this isn't just a kitchen. This is the place you're going to perfect your grandma's lasagna recipe, where the smell of coffee will fill the air on lazy Sunday mornings. And that backyard? It's not just grass. That's a future soccer field for your kids, the spot for your first big summer barbecue, the place you'll watch fireflies with a glass of wine on a warm evening. See the difference? One sells a building, the other sells a life. People don't buy granite countertops. They buy the feeling of pride and joy they'll have when their friends are gathered around that kitchen island. Your job in your ads is to paint that picture so vividly, they can't help but see themselves in it. To do this, you have to find the soul of the house. Every home has a story. Your mission is to find it and tell it. Maybe it's a starter condo for a young professional. Don't talk about the square footage. Talk about the freedom. Talk about walking to the trendiest coffee shop instead of sitting in traffic. Talk about the rooftop deck being the ultimate spot to unwind after a long week at the office. You're not selling a box in the sky. You're selling a lifestyle upgrade. Your ad should feel less like a real estate flyer and more like the opening scene of a movie about your client's best life. The third and maybe most powerful piece of this is to embrace your imperfections. Perfection is intimidating and unrelatable. Authenticity is magnetic. Do you know what one of the most engaging videos an agent I know ever made was? It was a short clip of him trying to assemble a ridiculously complicated piece of staging furniture. He was struggling, laughing at himself, and just being a real human. It got more comments and shares than any of his polished, just listed videos because it was real. It showed humility and a sense of humor. Don't be afraid to share a story about a deal that almost fell apart and how you saved it. Talk about a mistake you made early in your career and the lesson you learned. This doesn't make you look weak. It makes you look experienced and trustworthy. It shows you've been in the trenches. People don't trust the person who claims to have never failed. They trust the person who has failed, learned, and is now an expert because of it. Your quirks, your struggles, your non-real estate hobbies, that's the stuff that builds a real human connection. So let's put this into action with a few ad ideas. First, the day in the life video. But not the fake one where you're just shown closing deals and making calls. The real one. Show the chaos. Show you spilling coffee on your shirt on the way to a showing. Show you negotiating a tough deal from your car. Show you walking your dog to de-stress at the end of the day. Mix the professional with the personal. It's a 60-second ad that makes someone feel like they've known you for years. Second, the property story ad. For your next listing, instead of a boring slideshow of photos, pick one unique feature and tell its story. Maybe there's a massive, ancient oak tree in the backyard. Your ad isn't about the house. It's about the tree. This tree was here before this neighborhood was even built. It's provided shade for generations of families. It's been the home base for countless games of tag. And now, it's waiting for its next family. You're selling emotion and legacy, not just wood and nails. This unreal estate agent approach is what separates the top 1% from everyone else. Because it builds a personal brand that can't be copied. Anyone can run a Facebook ad for their listing, but nobody else can be you. When you build a brand around your authentic self, you no longer have any competition. People will choose to work with you not because of your brokerage or your sales record, but because they feel a genuine connection. They feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you before they've even met you. By combining the authority of the digital mayor with the relatability of the unreal estate agent, you create an unstoppable force in your market. You're providing immense value and building a deep, personal connection at scale. But there's a third piece to this puzzle. A strategy so counterintuitive that most agents would never even think to try it. What if I told you that some of the most effective ads you will ever run won't even mention that you sell real estate? We're about to dive into the powerful world of pattern interrupt advertising, and it will fundamentally change how you think about generating leads forever. Imagine you're scrolling through your social media feed. What do you see? A picture of your cousin's new baby. A funny video of a cat falling off a chair. A friend's vacation photo from somewhere you wish you were. Another cat video. And then an ad. You don't even consciously register it. Your thumb just keeps moving. It's like a reflex. Your brain has developed a highly sophisticated, military-grade spam filter. It's a bouncer at the nightclub of your attention, and it's gotten incredibly good at spotting anything that even smells like a sales pitch. Nope, you're not on the list. Keep moving. This is the reality we're advertising in. We are fighting against years of conditioning that has trained people to ignore us. So, how do you get past the bouncer? You don't show up looking like every other person trying to get in. You create a pattern interrupt. You do something so different, so unexpected that the bouncer, your prospect's brain, has to stop and say, "Whoa, hold on. What was that?" A pattern interrupt is a jolt to the system. It's a splash of cold water on the face of the hypnotized scroller. It breaks the rhythm and forces them to pay attention, even for a split second. And in advertising, a split second is all you need to earn the next 3 seconds, and those 3 seconds earn you the next 10. The most common mistake real estate agents make online is that their ads look, sound, and feel exactly like ads. They are screaming, "I am an advertisement, please ignore me." They use the same stock photos, the same headlines, the same tired phrases. Just listed. Dream home alert. Looking to buy or sell? Your brain sees these patterns and immediately categorizes them as unimportant sales noise. And the thumb continues its mission. To win, you must break that pattern. Your ad cannot look like a real estate ad. In fact, your best performing ad might not even mention a house. Let's get concrete. Here's strategy number 1. The community champion ad. Instead of running an ad about a new listing in Austin, Texas, you run a beautifully shot, 2-minute video titled, "The 3 best breakfast tacos in Austin you've never heard of." You, the agent, are the host. You're not in a suit. You're in jeans and a t-shirt, standing outside a food truck, talking with the owner, taking a huge bite of a taco and telling the camera with genuine enthusiasm why this place is a local treasure. You interview a couple of patrons. You show the vibrant atmosphere. The ad provides pure, unadulterated value to anyone who lives in or is curious about Austin. It's not an ad. It's a mini episode of a local food show. And at the very end, after you've given all this value, you say something simple and low-key. "My name is your name, and I'm obsessed with finding the best that Austin has to offer. It's what I do for a living, whether it's the best tacos or the best homes. If you're ever curious about what it's like to call this amazing city home, all my info is below. Now go get a taco." Let's break down the psychology of why this works so brilliantly. First, it shatters the pattern. Someone scrolling sees a delicious-looking taco, not a sterile photo of a kitchen. The headline promises a local secret, not a sales pitch. They click because they are genuinely curious. They watch because it's entertaining and valuable. Second, it positions you not as a salesperson but as a local guide, a trusted expert, an authority on the community. People don't trust salespeople, but they do trust passionate local guides. You've just demonstrated your expertise not by claiming it, but by proving it. You know the hidden gems. By extension, you must know the hidden gem neighborhoods, the best school districts, the up-and-coming areas. Third, and this is the most powerful part, it triggers the law of reciprocity. You have given them something of value, a great recommendation, a fun video with no immediate ask. Their subconscious mind feels a slight sense of indebtedness. So when the time comes that they, or their friend, or their cousin needs a real estate agent in Austin, whose name do you think will pop into their head? The agent who spammed their feed with just listed ads, or the friendly taco expert, who already helped them discover a new favorite spot? You're not just generating a lead, you're building a reputation and a relationship at scale. You can do this for anything. The best hiking trail for a Saturday morning. A tour of the coolest independent bookstore. Meet the owner of the local dog bakery. Stop selling houses. Start selling the life that happens between the walls of those houses. Okay, here's strategy number 2, which targets a different segment of the market. The problem solver ad. This is for current homeowners. Again, we are going to completely avoid looking like a real estate ad. The headline might be something like, "Warning for Phoenix homeowners. This one mistake could cost you $10,000 on your next remodel." The video isn't you talking about property values. It's you, the agent, sitting down with a trusted, respected local general contractor. You're interviewing them. You're the journalist, the advocate for the homeowner. You ask the contractor, "Jim, what is the single biggest mistake you see people make when they decide to renovate their kitchen?" And Jim, the expert, explains how choosing the wrong countertops or failing to get the right permits can lead to a financial disaster. The video is packed with valuable, money-saving advice. It's a public service announcement. The agent is simply the facilitator of this crucial information. You are the connector, the person who has the network and is willing to share it for the benefit of the community. The call to action at the end is just as soft. Navigating the world of homeownership can be tricky. That's why I've put together a free guide with my list of trusted local contractors, plumbers, and electricians, the people I trust with my own home. You can download it at the link below. My name is your name, and I'm here to be a resource for you. Long before you ever think about selling, think about the positioning here. You've just become the most helpful agent in the city without ever mentioning that you want their listing. You're not the shark smelling blood in the water. You're the lighthouse guiding ships safely to shore. This ad works because it taps into a homeowner's existing anxieties and provides a solution. It's hyper-relevant. It interrupts their pattern of worrying about their home by offering tangible, expert advice. You're building a moat of goodwill around your business. When they do decide to sell, who has already proven they have their back? Who has already demonstrated that they are a trusted advisor with a network of professionals? You have. You've been playing the long game while everyone else was shouting for a one-night stand. Both of these strategies, the community champion and the problem solver, are rooted in one fundamental truth of modern marketing. You have to give value before you can ever ask for anything in return. You have to stop interrupting what people are interested in and become what they are interested in. Your audience isn't interested in your commission. They're interested in the best place for brunch. They're not interested in your sales record. They're interested in not getting ripped off by a shady contractor. By aligning your advertising with their actual interests and problems, you slip past their mental spam filter and plant your flag directly in their brain as the go-to trusted resource. These two strategies are absolute gold for capturing the attention of people who already live in your market. You become a local celebrity, a micro-influencer for your town. But what about the most lucrative clients of all? The ones who don't even live there yet? What about the family in California with a huge budget, secretly researching a move to your suburb in Tennessee? They don't know the best taco truck. They don't have a kitchen to remodel yet. How do you interrupt their pattern? How do you become their one and only choice before they even know they're looking? In the next part, we're going to break down a strategy one called the digital mayor. It's a method so effective at attracting high-value, out-of-state relocation clients that it almost feels like an unfair advantage. You'll learn how to dominate the search results for your city and position yourself as the undeniable, go-to authority for anyone thinking of moving in, turning your website into a magnet for the best buyers you could ever ask for. So let's talk about how to build that magnet. The biggest mistake, the single most common failure I see with real estate agents online, is treating their website like a digital business card. It's a static, lifeless placeholder in the vastness of the internet. It has their photo, their brokerage logo, a generic about me, and maybe an IDX feed that's clunkier than the Zillow app everyone is already using. It sits there, collecting digital dust, waiting for a referral to maybe, possibly stumble upon it. That is not a strategy. That is a digital tombstone. Your website should be the single most valuable, most powerful lead generation asset in your entire business. It should be a living, breathing machine that works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, attracting, nurturing, and converting strangers from Google into clients who already see you as the expert before they've even spoken to you. The key is a complete mindset shift. Your website is not about you. It's not a monument to your sales record. It is a public utility. It is an indispensable resource for the exact person you want to attract. Someone moving to your town. We're going to build what I call the digital mayor platform. The goal is to make your website so unbelievably helpful, so comprehensively detailed about your city, that Google has no choice but to rank you at the very top. When someone types moving to Scottsdale, Arizona, or best neighborhoods in Austin, Texas, your face, your brand, your website needs to be the first thing they see. Not Zillow, not Redfin. You. How? Starts with one single monumental piece of content. We're not talking about a 500-word blog post. We're talking about creating the definitive, undisputed, heavyweight champion of the world, the ultimate guide to relocating to your city. This isn't an article, it's a Bible. This one page on your website will become the sun in your content solar system. It needs to be thousands of words long. It needs to be better, more in-depth, and more honest than anything else on the internet about your city. So what goes into this guide? Everything. I mean everything a person who is terrified and excited about moving would need to know. You break it down into chapters. Chapter 1, the neighborhoods. Don't just list them. Profile them. Who lives there? What's the vibe? Is it for young professionals, growing families, or empty nesters? What are the pros and cons of each? Be honest. If the traffic in one neighborhood is a nightmare during rush hour, say it. If the yards in another are tiny, mention it. This honesty builds massive trust. People can smell a sales pitch a mile away. They crave authentic local knowledge. Chapter 2. The school system. Don't just link to great schools. Do the work. Talk about the different districts. Public versus private. Charter schools. What are they known for? Arts? Sports? STEM? This is a massive decision maker for families, and they will devour this information. Chapter 3. Cost of living. Break it down. Average home prices, yes, but also property taxes, utility costs, even the average price of a gallon of gas or a craft beer. Use real numbers. Make it tangible. Chapter 4. The job market. Who are the major employers? What industries are booming? Where are the innovation hubs or corporate centers? Chapter 5. Things to do. Go beyond the tourist traps. What do the locals do on a Saturday? Where are the best hiking trails, the hidden gem restaurants, the farmers markets, the dog parks? You're not just selling houses, you're selling a lifestyle. You are painting a picture of what their life could be like, and you are the artist. This one-pillar page, this ultimate guide, becomes the anchor for your entire digital strategy. It's the foundation upon which your empire is built. But here's where we get into the unfair advantage. Building that guide is step 1. Step 2 is where you leave every other agent in your market in the dust. You're going to build a content web or a topic cluster around your main guide. Think of your relocation guide as the hub of a wheel. Now we're going to build out the spokes. Each of those little subtopics I mentioned, they each become their own, more detailed blog post or page on your website. So you create a new post titled, A Deep Dive into the Name of Neighborhood Lifestyle. You write another one, Top 5 Dog-Friendly Parks in Your City. Another, A Parent's Complete Guide to Your City School District. Another, Is downtown living in your city right for you? The pros and cons. Each of these articles is a deep dive into a microtopic. They are hyper-specific, hyper-local, and hyper-valuable. And here's the crucial part. From each of these smaller articles, you create a link that points back to your main, ultimate relocation guide. And from your main guide, you link out to these more specific articles. What this does is signal to Google that you aren't just a one-hit wonder. You are a deep, comprehensive authority on everything related to your city. You're creating a web of interconnected, valuable information. While other agents are writing generic posts about 5 tips for homebuyers, you're answering the exact specific questions that people are typing into the search bar at 2 in the morning as they plan the biggest move of their lives. Questions like, best coffee shops to work from in North Austin, or safest neighborhoods for families in Boise. You will own the answers to these questions. This is how you dominate the long-tail search. You're not trying to compete for the term homes for sale. You're winning the battle for moving to your city, which is where the highest quality, most motivated buyers are starting their journey. Now, you want to pour jet fuel on this entire strategy? You turn it into video. For every single one of those hyperlocal blog posts, you create a corresponding YouTube video. The post Top 5 Dog-Friendly Parks in Your City becomes a video where you literally take your own dog to those 5 parks. You show the space, you talk to other owners, you give a real authentic tour. The deep dive into neighborhood becomes a driving or walking tour video of that neighborhood. You embed these videos directly into the corresponding blog posts on your website. Why is this a cheat code? Because Google owns YouTube. They prioritize their own platform. When Google sees a web page that has well-written text, great photos, and a high-quality, relevant embedded video that people are actually watching, its algorithm goes into overdrive. It sees that page as an incredibly rich, multi-format resource that provides a fantastic user experience. It will shoot you up the rankings faster than almost anything else you can do. You're now satisfying search intent for people who like to read and for people who prefer to watch. You're playing the game on a whole different level. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is building a real lasting asset. It's a moat around your business that your competition is too lazy or too short-sighted to build. They're busy chasing the next lead on Zillow. You're building a machine that brings the best leads directly to you for free for years to come. But building the world's greatest resource is only half the battle. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? In the next part, we're going to talk about the amplification engine. We're going to discuss how to take this incredible content asset you've built and strategically push it in front of thousands of high-intent buyers for pennies on the dollar, turning your quiet digital library into a bustling grand central station of inbound leads. So let's dive right in. The biggest mistake agents make is thinking that creating the content is the finish line. In reality, it's the starting gun. You can have the most beautifully produced, value-packed video about your local market sitting on your YouTube channel. But if only your mom and your cousin see it, it's a business expense, not a business asset. The goal is to transform your content from a lonely message in a bottle to a high-powered broadcast tower, beaming your expertise directly into the homes and phones of your ideal clients. And we do that by building what I call the omnipresence engine. Sounds complex, but the idea is simple. We're going to make you appear everywhere to the right people at the right time so that when they think real estate, they think you. This isn't about annoying, spammy ads. It's about strategic, value-driven amplification that makes you the undeniable local authority. Forget boosting posts. Boosting a post on Facebook is like throwing 100 flyers off a skyscraper and hoping one lands in the hands of someone who wants to sell their house this afternoon. It's a game of chance, and the house always wins. We're not gamblers, we're strategists. Our strategy starts with the foundation, the audience. This is where 99% of agents get it wrong. They go into the Facebook Ads Manager. They select their city, they add Zillow and Realtor.com as interest, and they set their ad loose. That's not targeting. That's shouting into a crowded stadium. The people you really want to reach are a tiny fraction of that crowd. So we're going to build our own private stadiums filled only with VIPs. There are 3 core audiences you need to build right now. First is your digital sphere of influence. You're going to take every contact you have, past clients, current leads, open house sign-ins, that stack of business cards on your desk, and you're going to export them into a simple CSV file. Then you'll upload this list directly into Facebook and Google to create a custom audience. Why? Because these platforms are terrifyingly good at matching data. They will find the social media profiles for a huge percentage of these people. This is your warmest audience. They already know who you are. Now you can stay top of mind by showing them your helpful market update videos and success stories, not by sending them another, just listed postcard they'll throw in the trash. Even more powerfully, you can tell Facebook, hey, go find me 1 million other people in a 20-mile radius who look and act just like my best past clients. This is called a lookalike audience, and it is the single most powerful targeting tool in marketing, period. Second is your website retargeting audience. This requires installing a little piece of code on your website called a metapixel or a Google tag. Don't let the word code scare you. It's a simple copy and paste job. Think of this pixel as a digital doorman. Every single person who visits your website, whether they look at one listing or read 5 of your blog posts, your doorman puts a little invisible digital sticker on their back. Now, you can create an audience of these website visitors. These are people who have already shown interest. They've raised their hand. You can now follow up with them across the internet, showing them ads for your ultimate home seller's guide, or a video testimonial from a happy client. It's the digital equivalent of someone walking into your open house, leaving, and then seeing your face on a billboard on their drive home. It's powerful. Third, and this is my absolute favorite, is your video view audience. Remember all that incredible video content we talked about creating? The neighborhood tours, the market analysis, the Q&A sessions? Inside the ads platform, you can create an audience of people based on how much of your video they watched. You can literally create a list of everyone in your county who watched more than 75% of your 10-minute video on the pros and cons of living in Northwood. Do you understand how valuable that is? These people aren't just scrolling. They are actively consuming your content. They are self-identifying as being highly interested in that specific neighborhood or topic. This is a red-hot audience that most of your competitors don't even know exists. Okay, so you've built your VIP stadiums. You have your warm database, your website visitors, and your engaged video viewers. Now we deploy the content using a 3-tiered approach. This is the value-first funnel. Tier 1 is the top of the funnel, awareness. The goal here is not to get a lead. The goal is to get attention and provide value. You'll take your best broad appeal content, like those neighborhood tour videos or 5 things you must know before moving to Austin, and you'll run it as a video view ad. You'll target a broad, geographically defined audience, your entire county, for example, but your only objective is to get people to watch the video. You're spending a small amount of money, maybe $5 or $10 a day, to sift through the general population and find the gold nuggets, the people who watch 50%, 75%, or more of your content. You are building that precious video view audience. Tier 2 is the middle of the funnel, consideration. Now, you're only talking to the gold nuggets. You will run a completely different set of ads, and you'll only show them to the people who watched your Tier 1 videos or visited your website. These people have shown interest. They know who you are. So the ask gets a little bigger, but it's still value-focused. This is where you offer them your ultimate relocation guide or an invitation to a free first-time homebuyer webinar. The ad might say something like, "Loved our tour of the Northwood neighborhood? Get a complete list of all available homes, school ratings, and our favorite local spots in our free downloadable guide." In exchange for this valuable asset, you ask for their name and email address. This is how you turn an anonymous viewer into a tangible lead. Tier 3 is the bottom of the funnel, conversion. This is reserved for your hottest audience. These are the people who downloaded your guide, signed up for your webinar, visited the Contact Me page on your website, or watched multiple videos all the way through. They are not just aware of you, they've engaged with you multiple times. Now, and only now, do you make a direct offer. This is where you run the ads that say, "Curious what your home is worth in this market? Get a custom, no-obligation valuation," or "Ready to start your home search? Book a free 15-minute consultation." Because you've built trust and demonstrated expertise through the first 2 tiers, this final ask doesn't feel like a sales pitch. It feels like the logical next step in a helpful conversation they've been having with you all along. This multi-tiered system works because it mirrors human psychology. You don't walk up to a stranger and ask them to trust you with their largest financial asset. You build a relationship. You offer help. You demonstrate your value. You build trust. This ad system automates the getting to know you phase at scale. It positions you not as a salesperson but as the go-to expert. It filters out the tire kickers and delivers people to your inbox who are already convinced that you're the one they need to work with. And the best part? It's incredibly cost-effective. While your competitors are burning cash shouting at everyone, you're having strategic, sequential conversations with a curated group of high-intent individuals. You're spending pennies to get video views at the top, and a few dollars to acquire an email address in the middle, ensuring that by the time you spend real money on conversion ads at the bottom, you're only talking to people who are practically raising their hands begging to work with you. So now you have this incredible machine, this omnipresence engine, humming along, turning your content into a predictable flow of high-quality, inbound leads. The system is working, the notifications are popping, and your database is growing with people who actually want to hear from you. But a lead is just a name and an email until you convert it. It's potential energy. The biggest gap in the entire industry isn't lead generation, it's lead conversion. In the next part, we're going to bridge that gap. We're going to break down the exact follow-up sequences, the scripts, the emails, and the CRM automations that turn these digital handshakes into signed contracts and commission checks. All right, let's talk about the engine. Because all those creative ads, all that brilliant targeting, it's like having a beautiful high-performance race car without an engine. It looks great, but it's not going anywhere. The leads are the fuel, but the follow-up system, that is the engine that creates momentum and drives you across the finish line. Most agents get a lead and they do one of 2 things. They either call it once, leave a voicemail, and then throw it onto a generic email newsletter, or they hound the person with, "Are you ready to buy yet?" text until they get blocked. Both are terrible. The goal of your follow-up is not to close a deal on the first call. It's to start a conversation and establish yourself as the undeniable authority who provides value before ever asking for anything in return. The system I'm about to break down is built on a simple principle: speed, value, and persistence. We'll call it the SVP method. Let's start with speed. The golden hour in lead conversion is a myth. It's not an hour. It's the first 5 minutes. A study by leadresponsemanagement.org found that the odds of contacting a lead if you call within 5 minutes are 100 times higher than if you call within 30 minutes. 100 times. So manual follow-up is not an option. You need an automated first 5 sequence. The moment a lead comes in from your Facebook ad, your Zillow page, your website, whatever, the clock starts. Your CRM should immediately fire off this multi-channel sequence. First 60 seconds in, an automated text message. This is critical. Text messages have a 98% open rate. Your email has, a 20% open rate if you're lucky? The text message is your opening salvo. But it can't be generic. It has to be contextual. It must reference the specific thing they inquired about. If they downloaded your first-time homebuyer guide for Austin, the text should say, "Hey John, it's Mike from Austin Realty. Just saw you grab the homebuyer guide." The section on little-known loan programs is a game changer. Any questions so far? See what we did there? We confirmed who we are. We referenced their specific action, which builds trust. And we offered value by pointing out a key section, and then we ended with a soft, no-pressure question. We're not asking, when do you want to see houses? We're asking, any questions so far? It's a micro commitment. It's easy to answer. Then, 2 minutes after that text, an automated email goes out. The subject line is key here. Something like, here's that guide you requested, or your Austin home search. The email itself delivers the item if it was a download, but it also does something more. It introduces you in a more human way. It could include a link to a short, 2-minute intro video of you saying, hey, thanks for reaching out. My mission is to make buying a home in this crazy market simple and stress-free. Here's how I do that. It puts a face to the name. It builds rapport at scale. Then, at the 5-minute mark, if they haven't responded to the text or email, your CRM should trigger a task for you to make a phone call. Now, when you call, you have context. You're not a cold caller. You're the helpful person from the text and the email. You can say, hey John, it's Mike again, the realtor who just texted you about the homebuyer guide. Just wanted to make sure you got it, and see if you had any initial thoughts on the Austin market. The entire first 5 sequence is designed to make a warm, value-driven impression from 3 different angles in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee. But what if they don't respond? This is where 90% of agents give up. And this is where you're going to win. Now we move into the V of our SVP method, value. This is your 14-day nurture campaign. And it's not about pestering, it's about positioning. Over the next 2 weeks, this lead will automatically receive a series of emails and texts from you. But none of them will say, are you ready yet? They will all provide standalone value. Day 3, an email with the subject line, the 3 most overrated neighborhoods in their city. And 3 you've never heard of. This is pure gold. It's contrarian, it's local, and it's incredibly valuable information they can't just Google. Day 5, a text message. Something simple and disarming. Morning, John. Driving through the 78704 zip code and saw a coming soon sign on a killer property that reminded me of the homes you were looking at. Not on the MLS yet. Want the details? This shows you're active in the market and you're thinking of them specifically. Even if you're not physically there, you know your market. You can automate this based on the areas they were searching. Day 8. An email that's a case study or a client story. Subject: how the Millers beat 12 other offers without overpaying. In the email, you tell a short, compelling story about a past client. People are hardwired for stories. It builds social proof and demonstrates your expertise without you having to say, I'm an expert. Day 11. Another text. This one is a pattern interrupt. Random question for you about the Austin market. That's it. Wait for them to reply, what's the question? Then you can engage. You've created curiosity. Day 14. A final value-packed email. This could be a link to a video tour of a unique property, an invite to a no-pressure webinar you're hosting about market trends, or a comprehensive market report for their specific area of interest. The goal of this 14-day sequence is to make them feel like they're getting exclusive, insider information from a market pro. By the end of it, even if they haven't replied, you are no longer just some random agent. You are the Austin market expert in their mind. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. P for persistence. This is the long-term game. If a lead finishes the 14-day nurture sequence and still hasn't engaged, they don't get deleted. They get moved into your long-term follow-up plan. This is where your weekly or bi-weekly email newsletter comes in. But again, it can't be boring. No just listed or just sold spam. It needs to be content that people actually want to read. Each month you could have a theme. 1 week, it's a video interview with a local mortgage broker about creative financing. The next week, it's a blog post about the best property tax protest companies in your county. The week after, it's a guide to the best dog parks in the city. You're becoming the digital mayor of your town. You're the source of all things local, with real estate woven in seamlessly. And within this long-term plan, your CRM should be smart. If a lead who has been quiet for 3 months suddenly re-engages, they click a link in your newsletter, they start browsing your website again, the CRM should automatically notify you. It should pull them out of the long-term nurture and put them back on your hot list. That's your cue to reach out personally with a simple text. Hey Sarah, saw you were checking out some homes in Round Rock again. Did something change with your search timeline? This entire system, the first 5, the 14-day nurture, and the long-term value plan, is about building a pipeline that never leaks. It's about playing the long game in a short-term industry. You're creating an automated, scalable system for building relationships. You're farming, not hunting. You take a cold lead from a Facebook ad who knows nothing about you, and you automatically turn them into a warm lead who sees you as the only logical choice. You're not chasing them, you're attracting them. You're not selling them, you're serving them. And that shift in perspective, powered by this kind of automation and a commitment to value, is what separates the agents who struggle for every deal from the ones who have a predictable, consistent flow of clients who are excited to work with them. But there's a problem. This whole engine runs on fuel. And while ads are great, there's an even more powerful, more organic way to fill your pipeline with leads who are already pre-sold, pre-qualified, and predisposed to trust you. It involves turning your social media from a boring billboard into a client attraction machine. And the biggest mistake agents make is treating their social media like a digital version of a park bench ad. It's just a constant stream of just listed, under contract, just sold. It's all about them. Me. Look at my success, look at my new listing, look at what I did. But here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. Nobody cares. Unless they are one of the two people involved in that specific transaction, the other 99.9% of your audience is scrolling right past it. It's noise. It's a broadcast, not a connection. That's the billboard model. And it's fundamentally broken in a world where people crave authenticity and value. The client attraction machine works on a completely different principle. It's not about broadcasting. It's about becoming a magnet. It's about a paradigm shift in how you view your role. You stop being a real estate salesperson on social media, and you start being the digital mayor of your town. Think about that for a second. The digital mayor. What does a great mayor do? They champion their city. They are the biggest cheerleader. They know the people, the places, the hidden gems. They are the trusted source of information. They don't walk around with a megaphone shouting, "Vote for me." Instead, they show up, they serve, they connect, and as a result, they earn the trust and support of their community. That is your new job on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. Become the digital mayor. When you adopt this mindset, your content strategy changes overnight. You stop asking, "What can I post to get a lead today?" And you start asking, "What can I post that would be genuinely valuable or entertaining to someone who lives in, or is thinking about moving to, my community?" This is the secret. You're no longer selling houses, you're selling the lifestyle of your city. And by doing so, you become the undeniable authority, the go-to person for anyone even thinking about making a move. So how do you do it? Let's break it down into 3 core pillars of being the digital mayor. Pillar number 1. You are the community correspondent. Your job is to be the on-the-ground reporter for everything cool, new, and noteworthy in your area. And you do not need a professional camera crew. You need this. Your smartphone. That's it. Authenticity beats production value every single time. What does this look like in practice? Instead of a just listed post, you do a 60-second video tour of the new coffee shop that just opened downtown. Interview the owner. Ask them about their passion. Show off their signature latte. The caption isn't "thinking of buying or selling." The caption is, "We are so excited to welcome the daily grind to our amazing community. Their vanilla bourbon latte is a 10 out of 10. Go show them some love." You do a video on the top 3 parks for a family picnic in your county. You go to a local hiking trail and show people the secret waterfall that only locals know about. You spotlight a local charity, a high school football game, the farmer's market on Saturday morning. You're creating a library of content that serves the community. Think about the psychology here. Someone is thinking of moving to your town from 2 states away. They're searching hashtags, they're looking at location tags. What's more compelling? An agent's glamour shot next to a sold sign? Or a video of that same agent showing them the best place to get tacos on a Tuesday night? You're not just showing them a house. You're showing them their future life. For the people who already live there, you're reinforcing their love for the community and positioning yourself as the most connected, knowledgeable person in town. When it comes time for them or their friend or their cousin to move, who are they going to think of? The billboard agent? Or the digital mayor who's been providing them value every single day? It's not even a contest. Pillar number 2. You are the process demystifier. Buying or selling a home is terrifying for most people. It's the biggest financial decision of their lives, and it's filled with jargon, confusing steps, and high-stakes emotions. The digital mayor doesn't hide from this. They lean into it. They become the trusted teacher, the calm guide through the storm. So instead of a post that says, "I can help you get pre-approved," you create a short, simple video titled, "What the heck is an escrow account?" Explained in 60 seconds. You do a post breaking down the 3 biggest mistakes first-time homebuyers make in this market. Notice the specificity. Not just any market, this market. You're providing hyperlocal, relevant expertise. You can explain the difference between a conventional and an FHA loan. You can talk about what contingency really means. You can give tips on how to stage your home for a showing using items people already own. This content does two things. First, it builds massive authority. You're not just telling people you're an expert. You're proving it, one helpful post at a time. Second, it intercepts potential clients way earlier in the customer journey. Someone might be 6 months, a year, even 2 years away from being ready to transact. They aren't going to click an ad that says, "Get a free home valuation." But they will absolutely watch a video that helps them understand their credit score better. And for the next 2 years, they're going to consume your content, learn from you, and build a one-sided relationship with you. By the time they're finally ready to call an agent, you're the only person they trust. You've already been their guide for months, and you haven't even met them yet. And that brings us to pillar number 3, which might be the most important of all. You are the human being. This is the part most agents are terrified of, but it's the glue that holds the entire digital mayor strategy together. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Your community correspondent content gets them to know you. Your process demystifier content gets them to trust you. But your human being content is what gets them to like you. This is where you pull back the curtain on the polished professional agent persona and just be a person. It doesn't mean oversharing or being unprofessional. It means being relatable. Post a picture of your dog. Share a funny story about your kid's soccer game. Talk about the book you're reading or the Netflix show you're binging. Show a behind the scenes of you struggling to put together IKEA furniture. Be vulnerable. Be funny. Be you. This is what transforms you from a commodity, just another agent in a sea of faces, into a distinct personality that people feel connected to. When a potential client has a choice between 10 agents who all have 5-star reviews and impressive sales records, they're going to choose the one they feel a connection with. They'll choose the agent who also loves golden retrievers, or who also struggles with gardening, or who also loves that same local brewery. This human element is your ultimate differentiator. When you combine these 3 pillars, community correspondent, process demystifier, and human being, the magic happens. Your social media feed becomes a rich, valuable, entertaining resource. You're building a real community, not just an audience. The comments section becomes a conversation. Your DMs start filling up not with cold, skeptical inquiries, but with warm, friendly messages. "Hey, my wife and I have been following you for months, and we love your videos about the local food scene. We're thinking about moving this fall. Do you have a few minutes to chat next week?" That's it. That's the holy grail. A lead that is pre-sold on the community, pre-sold on your expertise, and pre-sold on you as a person. So you've become the digital mayor, your DMs are buzzing, and you're the most recognized and trusted real estate voice in town. But how do you scale this? How do you turn this organic buzz into a predictable, automated system that works even while you sleep? That's where we get into the world of smart, targeted amplification. And it's not what you think. Because the moment most agents hear amplification, they think of one thing, that big blue boost post button. It's the siren song of social media, promising eyeballs for a price. You spend $50, maybe $100 to push your new listing video out to everyone in a 10-mile radius. And what happens? You get a handful of vanity likes from people who aren't moving for a decade, your Aunt Carol, and 3 bots from another country. That's not a marketing strategy. That's setting a $100 bill on fire to make a little light. The smart amplification, the kind that builds a real business, is about precision psychology and creating an automated journey for your potential clients. Let's start with all that amazing local content we talked about. The day in the life videos, the neighborhood tours, the interviews with local business owners. Your first instinct is to just run that whole video as an ad. Don't. That's like trying to serve a 7-course meal to someone running for a bus. Instead, you become a content surgeon. You take that 3-minute video and you microslice it. You cut out the 10-second clip where you're laughing with the barista at the best coffee shop. You pull out the 15-second drone shot soaring over the most popular park. You isolate the 7 seconds where the bakery owner describes her signature croissant. You now have 5, 10, maybe 15 different bite-sized pieces of high-impact content from a single video shoot. Now, here's where the magic happens: audience layering. For that 10-second coffee shop clip, you don't just target your zip code. You run an ad targeted to people in your area who have also shown an interest in Starbucks, Blue Bottle Coffee, or Third Wave Coffee. And you add another layer. They must also match behaviors that platforms identify as likely to move. For the drone shot of the park, you target people interested in hiking, running clubs, or dog parks. Again, layered with that likely to move behavioral data. You're not just showing ads to people. You're showing them a reflection of their own lifestyle, their own aspirations, in the very community you want to sell them. You're connecting on a level of shared interest before you ever mention a single bedroom or bathroom. This creates the top of what I call the automated trust funnel. The goal here isn't to get a lead. Not yet. The only goal is to see who raises their hand, digitally speaking. Who watches? The platforms track everything. So you create a new custom audience. Anyone who has watched at least 75% of any of your microsliced video ads. This is no longer a cold audience of strangers. This is a curated pool of people who have seen your face, felt the vibe of your community, and have self-selected as being interested. They are warm. Now, and only now, do you change the message. You serve this new warm audience a different kind of ad. This ad isn't about lifestyle anymore. It's about value and authority. This is where you run the ad with the client testimonial, or the video titled, "The 3 Things You Must Know Before Buying in Austin in 2024. Or a simple direct offer. Seen a bit of what our community has to offer? Download my free relocation guide that covers the best schools, tax info, and hidden local gems. You've earned the right to ask for their attention in a more direct way because you first gave them value without asking for anything in return. You've turned a cold, transactional ad platform into a warm, automated relationship builder. It's a system that works for you 24/7, identifying and nurturing your next client while you're out showing homes. But what about sellers? How do you use this same principle of precision targeting to land listings? This is where we take an old-school tactic and give it a digital upgrade. I call it digital door knocking. For decades, the most ambitious agents would walk a neighborhood, knocking on every door. It was brutal, inefficient, but it worked because it was personal. Today, we can do it with terrifying accuracy without ever leaving the office. Most agents don't know this, but with addressable geofencing, you can target specific households with digital ads. Think about that. You can pull a list of every home in a desirable subdivision that hasn't been on the market in 15 years. These are your prime potential sellers, people with tons of equity, maybe looking to downsize or upgrade. You can upload that list of physical addresses, and the ad platforms will match them to their digital profiles. Now, you can run an ad that is seen only by the people living in those specific homes, and your ad copy becomes hyper-personal. Instead of a generic thinking of selling message, your ad says, "Living in the Willow Creek Estates? Your neighbor at 123 Maple Street just sold for 20% over asking. The market for homes like yours has never been hotter. Click here for a confidential, no-pressure equity assessment." That ad showing up on their phone or computer feels less like an advertisement and more like a piece of insider information. It's a digital knock on their door with a message written just for them. It's infinitely more powerful than a postcard they'll throw in the trash, because it's dynamic, it's immediate, and it proves you are the agent who is paying attention to their specific street. Now let's add one more powerful layer of amplification, one that money can't buy: leveraged authority. This is the collaborative content amplifier. You need to think about who else serves your ideal client. Who do they trust? A young couple buying their first home is probably also talking to a mortgage broker and a financial planner. A family looking to upgrade might be working with an interior designer or a contractor to prep their current home for sale. These aren't your competitors. They are your strategic partners. You approach them with a simple idea. Let's create a piece of content together that helps both our audiences. You and a top mortgage broker go live on Instagram for a 20-minute Q&A called The First Time Homebuyer's Roadmap. You film a short 2-minute video with a popular local stager titled 3 Staging Secrets that add $10,000 to your sale price. The content itself is valuable, but the real power is in the cross-promotion. When you post it, you tag them. When they post it, they tag you. You are now being introduced to their entire sphere of influence, their entire email list, their entire social media following. Not as a random real estate agent, but with an implicit endorsement from someone they already know and trust. It's a trust transfer. It's social proof on steroids. This single strategy can do more for your credibility in a target niche than $1,000 in ad spend, because it's built on relationships, not just reach. By combining these 3 strategies, the automated trust funnel for buyers, digital door knocking for sellers, and the collaborative amplifier for authority, you move beyond just making ads. You're building an ecosystem, a predictable, scalable machine that attracts, nurtures, and builds trust with your ideal clients, positioning you as the only logical choice long before they're even ready to pick up the phone. So you have the content that makes you a local celebrity. You have the automated amplification system that turns strangers into warm leads while you sleep. You have the entire technical and strategic playbook. But there's one final element. It's the psychological trigger that makes a client fiercely loyal, that makes them choose you over an agent with twice your experience and a bigger budget. It's the secret sauce of every top producer, and it has nothing to do with marketing funnels or ad algorithms at all. It's the ultimate human connection. It's about shifting your mindset from being a real estate agent who markets to being a community pillar who happens to sell real estate. All the ad ideas we've talked about, the drone shots, the Zillow hacks, the social media storytelling, they are all powerful tools. But they are just the engine. This final idea, this is the fuel. It's what separates the six-figure agent from the seven-figure legacy builder. It's the strategy of becoming so deeply embedded in the fabric of your community, so undeniably valuable to the people in it, that you become the only logical choice. Think about it. Every other agent is shouting the same thing. I sell houses. I have great service. Look at my sales record. It's noise. It's a race to the bottom on who can spend the most on ads to shout the loudest. You can't win that game long-term, not against the big teams and venture-backed brokerages. But you can play a different game entirely. A game they can't win. A game of authentic human-to-human connection. So what does this look like in practice? It's not one ad. It is a fundamental change in how you spend your time and your marketing budget. I call it the community anchor strategy, and it has three core pillars. First, you become the hyperlocal information hub, not just for real estate, for everything. Your website, your blog, your YouTube channel should be the #1 resource for anyone living in or thinking about moving to your town. Stop writing blog posts titled 5 Tips for Staging Your Home. Nobody cares. Instead, create a video series called The Top 5 Kid-Friendly Restaurants in North Austin, and actually go interview the owners. Write a detailed guide to navigating the local school registration process, complete with deadlines and links. Create a downloadable map of the best local hiking trails. Become the digital mayor of your town. When someone Googles best coffee shops in Scottsdale, your video should pop up. When they search for summer camps in Fairfax County, your guide should be the top result. You are providing immense value with no immediate ask. You are solving their life problems, not just their housing problems. And in doing so, you are building a massive bank of trust and authority. When they finally do have a housing problem, who do you think they're going to call? The agent who bombards them with just listed postcards, or the person who already helped them find a great pediatrician and the best pizza place for Friday nights? The second pillar is practicing radical, unconditional generosity. This is where most agents get it wrong. They offer a free home valuation, but only in exchange for a name, email, and phone number. That's not a gift, that's a transaction. True generosity expects nothing in return. It's about creating value so good people would have paid for it and then giving it away for free. Host a free quarterly webinar with a local CPA on how homeowners can maximize their tax deductions. Run a free workshop on how to protest your property tax assessment. And bring in an expert to show people exactly how to do it, potentially saving them thousands of dollars. You do this without a sales pitch. At the end, you simply say, I'm John Smith with XYZ Realty. I love this community, and I'm just happy I could help. The psychological law of reciprocity is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. When you give freely, people feel a deep subconscious need to give back. And in the real estate world, the way they give back is with their business and their referrals. The third and most powerful pillar is to architect real-world connection. Move from behind the screen and into the street, but not by hosting a stale open house with lukewarm cookies. I'm talking about becoming a creator of community experiences. I know an agent in a Midwestern town who was struggling. She was spending a fortune on Zillow leads that went nowhere. She noticed that the town's beloved annual fall festival had been canceled due to budget cuts. The community was devastated. So she took her entire marketing budget for the next 2 quarters, every single penny, and instead of buying a single ad, she used it to single-handedly revive the festival. She didn't call it the Sarah Miller Realty Fall Festival. She just called it the Maple Creek Fall Festival, brought to you by your neighbors. She got other local businesses involved. The bakery donated pies, the hardware store provided pumpkins. She organized hayrides and a chili cook-off. She was there from dawn till dusk, Not in a branded polo shirt at a booth trying to collect email addresses. She was in jeans and a sweatshirt, slinging hot cider, helping kids paint pumpkins, and just talking to people. For one day, she wasn't a real estate agent. She was just Sarah, the woman who brought back their town's favorite tradition. The local newspaper ran a front-page story about her. Not as a paid ad, but as a genuine news story about a local citizen stepping up. The word of mouth was seismic. People started calling her, not because they saw her face on a billboard, but because their friend told them, "You have to work with Sarah. She's the one who saved the fall festival. She actually cares about this town." Her business didn't just grow. It transformed. She stopped chasing leads. Leads started chasing her. And they weren't cold leads. They were advocates. They were fans. They trusted her before they even met her. That is the ultimate ad. Your actions become your ad. Your character becomes your brand. Your social media feed stops being a boring reel of listings and becomes a vibrant, engaging documentary of your community involvement. The video of the smiling kids on the hayride is 1,000 times more effective than the most perfectly produced "Why You Should Hire Me" video. The photo of you and other volunteers cleaning up a local park does more to build trust than any client testimonial ever could. You stop advertising what you do and you start documenting who you are. You are no longer just another agent in a sea of agents. You are a fixture, a leader, an indispensable part of the community you serve. And that is a competitive advantage that no amount of money can buy. It's future-proof. It can't be outsourced. It can't be automated by AI. So, as we wrap up this entire series, I want you to ask yourself a question. What are you building? Are you building a book of business? Or are you building a legacy? Are you trying to close the next transaction? Or are you trying to build a reputation that will feed you for the next 30 years? The most creative ad ideas, the slickest marketing campaigns, they're all just tools to get attention. But what you do with that attention is what matters. You can use it to sell or you can use it to serve. My challenge to you is this. This month, take 10% of your marketing budget. Don't spend it on Facebook ads or Zillow. Spend it on your community. Sponsor a little league team. Buy a massive amount of coffee from a local cafe. And hand it out for free on a Monday morning. Host a free document shredding event in your office parking lot. Do something, anything, with the sole purpose of making your community a slightly better place, with zero expectation of a return. Document it, share the story, and watch what happens. Because in an industry that is getting louder, more crowded, and more impersonal every single day, the most radical, disruptive, and effective marketing strategy of all is to be genuinely, undeniably human. The greatest ad you will ever create is not an ad at all. It's the story people tell about you when you're not in the room. Go out there and give them a remarkable story to tell.